What a fantastic basketball game we were just supplied with in that one, as the Timberwolves get the 8-point win at home against the very good, and probably most healthy they've been all year, Cleveland Cavaliers. I actually was thinking about going to this game. My cat's going fucking crazy right now, by the way. My grandma, who is also a Timberwolves supporter, wanted me to go to a game, and she's like, you should pick out one for yourself. I was looking around the last couple months, and I thought this one would be the best one. Ended up not going to it, which is probably a mistake, because I thoroughly enjoyed that entire game. Even though it was ugly at times, and really kind of a defensive-heavy matchup, which is what I was expecting, Cavs are by far the best defensive team in the NBA, so I knew the Wolves would have to match that energy in order to keep this game close, and they did that in different ways. To start out the game, I really loved the scheme that they came up with. They had Gobert guarding Okoro on the perimeter, who is not a significant three-point threat, so he can protect the paint and not have to go off of Jared Allen or Evan Mobley, so he can sag off of his guy and not leave those two lob threats. The other mismatches we've got Jaden McDaniels, our best defender, on Donovan Mitchell, so we don't have our bigs on either of theirs. We've got Anthony Edwards and Kyle Anderson taking that responsibility. And I thought it worked really well to start the game. We have a 7-0 run off the rip. We rotated really well. It kind of got them out of their flow with this mismatch that we had going on. But once rotations with players started and different people came into the game, we kind of went away from that, and we had our bigs guard their bigs, which was not good for us. This cat, man. Because their guards become so much better whenever that's the defense you're playing, because they're just such a huge threat off the dribble between Garland and Mitchell, and if you make a slight slip up of helping too much, it's a lob dunk, usually to Jared Allen. He was extremely dominant for long stretches here. And it's a pretty big contrast because we also have 2-star guards and 2-star bigs, although Cat's been injured for a while and Gobert hasn't really played like a star. But part of that is kind of D'Lo and Ant really being poor passers to Gobert. Their lob attempts to Gobert do not have a very good success rate. They haven't figured out that chemistry, and it's kind of like you make the smallest slip up against those Cavs guards, bigs, pick and rolls, and you're absolutely punished in like any scenario. That's not what it is with the Wolves. It's kind of rare seeing our star guards get a good connection to Gobert, which is a huge contrast and reason why these two teams, which have pretty similar complexion, are playing at very different levels. Next day, Editing Kyle would like to fill you in on a couple things. Gobert only played 13 minutes and was out after early stretches of that game with a groin issue. Buckets were pretty hard to come by in that first half. It was mostly Anthony Edwards that carried us. I believe he had 17 in the first half. However, he would also have 4 turnovers of that time span. Kyle Anderson would also have 3 first-half turnovers. We also got ourselves into some foul trouble. Taurean Prince had 3 fouls with 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Jaden McDaniels picks up 2 fouls in the final 2 minutes of the half to give him 3 in the first, and he would end up having 5 fouls in that game. That would be kind of an issue, simplexing his playtime yet again, which is so tough because you see he's absolutely one of the best defenders in the NBA already. Dude is special and only getting better. If you're wondering how the person that dropped 71 points and 11 assists in one NBA game, Donovan Mitchell, did tonight, he got the Jaden McDaniels treatment. Not a great stat line. Jaden is young Kawhi Leonard. I'm just going to go with a full comparison at this point. I've been trying to hold it back, but it's real. I was really starting to look to D'Angelo Russell to get going because he only had 7 points in the first half with 0 assists and was pretty passive, not playing well in that time frame. And he's kind of our biggest advantage against that Cavs team because they've got solid defenders from the 2 spot all the way to center, and their weak point is really their point guard. Like Garland is their weakest defender, and so the point guard spot is where you want to exploit, but D'Angelo Russell really was not the answer tonight and really didn't get a lot of minutes. Second half, he was kind of really reeled back. I don't know the reasoning why, but I can think of one. It's the bucket supply that was absolutely cooking tonight. Jalen Noel with a huge night off the bench. Just about everyone on the bench was fantastic. Had a really good second half, fourth quarter especially. Only 1 3-pointer attempted, which I didn't even like the one he took. It was not a great shot. But the way he played tonight is what I really love to see. When he's aggressive, constantly attacking, and just letting the jump shots come to him when they're open and not forcing any of that and just doing what he does best. of just attacking the rim. And if no one's going to stop him, no way is he passing that ball, which worked really well tonight, and it works really well most of the time for Jalen Noel. Naz Reid also did not shoot the three ball very well, 1 of 7. However, he was incredible as well. Had 3 vicious, incredible highlight dunks that were so great. And then the other backup big who flourished in the fourth quarter was Luka Garza. Garzilla just went on a tear early on in that fourth, got us really quick points, and he was very good in his stretch. So it was really no Gobert, no D'Lo in that fourth quarter where the Wolves really caught fire. Those are the people that really stepped up, and it was wonderful to see them compete with this Cavs team that played well for long stretches, but the Wolves just never really got too complacent and really stepped it up. This one really goes to the bench. 4 of the starters tonight were in single digits. The only one that wasn't was Anthony Edwards, and that was a really lovely game. The Wolves are back to 500 for the first time since before their 6-game losing streak. That was so crushing. And finally, even with this train wreck turbulent start, the Wolves are now the 6th seed in the Western Conference. Of course, there's about 6 teams right on their ass, but hey, we're getting there. They've got the Jazz next in a midday game on MLK Day. Let's see how it goes.